Today on WINOL, Winchester celebrates as students graduate. Also this afternoon, jobs galore as vacancies reach record highs. And a win for the Bisons, with goals aplenty. Good afternoon and welcome to Winchester News Online. I'm Alex Franklin. Graduation has arrived, and with the future in sight, Cameron Cornell has spoken to some students about their prospects in the world of work.
The University of Winchester has ranked joint 6th in the UK for the number of undergraduate students in full-time employment 15 months after graduation. According to a 2021 survey by the Higher Education Statistics Agency, figures show 90% of Winchester undergraduates were in full-time employment after graduating in 2018-19.
I'm studying psychology at the moment, and yeah, I feel pretty confident that hopefully I'll get a job somewhere.
In the course they always say, oh, you're the most employable year. You're like, okay, thanks. Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
I'm doing film production, first year at the moment, and I'd say I'm fairly confident of getting a job in the industry after graduation.
To modern history. At the moment, I'm not super confident, but it's still a bit of time away. It could change in the year, it could get better, but it could get worse.
Some of the courses with 95% graduate employment levels include some of the most popular courses at the university, such as primary education, accounting and finance, and media and communications.
As soon as the pandemic started, we moved all our provision online and we started running a series of new initiatives that we hadn't actually run before. So we started doing webinars, we sent a graduate job pack out to every third year student. So that could have had some impact as well. And we had recently, just before, started Careers Advice for Life. But I think it's partially due to our student makeup and then partially that the university has really been focusing on employability for many years now.
Winchester ranks top amongst universities in Hampshire, Dorset and Sussex for the amount of students in employment or further study after graduating. With COVID having such a big impact on student employment after graduation, it appears students in Winchester have been doing well. Cameron Cornell, Winchester News Online.
Thanks, Cameron. Now, luckily, graduates are entering a world currently teeming with jobs. Vacancies have reached record highs as shops and businesses once again open their doors to customers. Naya McGee has the latest.
It's currently a great time to be looking for a job. Vacancies in the UK have reached a record high according to the latest official figures. The Office for National Statistics revealed that vacancies hit over 1.1 million between July and September this year. This figure is the highest since records began 20 years ago. In the 3 months leading up to September this year, the majority of industry sectors displayed a record number of vacancies. The largest increase was seen in the accommodation and food sector, which includes hotels, pubs and restaurants, reaching a 75% increase. There's also been a rise in the number of employees leaving furlough and returning to full-time work. A rise of over 200,000 takes the total figure to 29.1 million. This increase means that the number of employees that are back to working full-time has returned to pre-pandemic levels in almost all of the areas of the UK. However, the Office of National Statistics advises caution in reading too much into the new figures, as these increases are not being seen everywhere. The ONS says that in some of the harder hit areas of the UK, especially in places like London, the numbers remain well below pre-pandemic levels.
Thanks, Nayana. COVID-19 is still with us, with infection rates continuing to fluctuate week on week. Kira Donachie has the latest.
Over the last 7 days in the UK, there has been a 16.2% increase of positive coronavirus tests. This has brought the daily figure to over 49,000, with 309,000 testing positive in the past week. The latest daily figure of COVID-related deaths has also increased to 45. Over the last 7 days, 896 people have died after testing positive with COVID. This is an 11.4% increase since the last week. The UK statistics show a daily figure of 915 patients getting admitted to hospital with coronavirus. The latest daily figures of the first vaccine dose is over 17,000, bringing the total vaccine dose to well over 49 million. The total of the second vaccine dose is at over 45 million, with the daily figure showing 17,265 doses given. 85.9% of the UK population aged 12 and over have received their first vaccine and 78.9% have had their second dose. Winchester's daily positive coronavirus tests stand at 152, with 958 testing positive over the last 7 days. There has been no recorded coronavirus-related deaths in Winchester recently. As documented on the 10th of October, patients admitted to hospital with coronavirus has gone down by 42.9%, with the daily number being 3.
Since the pandemic, many elderly people have been left isolated and alone. However, one scheme in Winchester is looking to change this. Anya Leleva has the story.
Our local volunteer hub has been creating projects for people after the difficult last couple of years, as more people have been feeling separated and lonely.
Winchester Hub is a local branch of the national charity Student Hubs, and Student Hubs' vision and mission is to create an environment where every student has the opportunity to engage with social or environmental issues during their time at university. And the way that we hope to achieve that is through mainstreaming social action, so providing kind of accessible community and student-led opportunities.
One of the upcoming events for the volunteers will be a tea party.
So we're working with local community group on running a tea party on the 20th for elderly residents in Winchester. So it's a 1950s, 60s themed tea party for about 50 people who will be going to Hope Church, I believe it is, in Winchester. And our role there will be providing about 5 volunteers.
Since 2014, Winchester Hub has had big impact on community. With 128 volunteers this year alone, they have volunteered more than 800 hours. This is Anya Leleva, Winchester News Online.
Halloween is fast approaching, and Winchester has certainly been getting into the spooky spirit. Oliver McLennan reports.
With Halloween almost upon us, the Winchester Discovery Centre are once again holding their annual word hunt. The hunt is designed to get people to explore all through Winchester, from theatres to takeaways. The initiative, as well as being a fun family day out, is designed as a collaboration between the Winchester City Council and local businesses as a way to get people to explore, learn about and have fun in Winchester. At the end of collecting all the clues, they can return back to the Winchester Discovery Centre in order to claim their spooky bag of treats, not tricks. I'm Oliver McLennan, Winchester News Online.
Yes, pumpkin season is well and truly upon us, and many of us are now on the hunt to find our perfect pumpkin. Eleanor Dixon has been to Southampton to see what she can find.
As we approach Halloween, many are looking to visit their local farms for a day out of taking pictures and picking out pumpkins. Sunnyfields Farm, located in Southampton, opened their doors at the beginning of this month for their ticketed Pumpkin Time experience. The family-run farm has been operating for the past 31 years, with this being their 6th pumpkin event.
They come, they grab a wheelbarrow, they take family photos, they go up the huge pyramid. We've also got some massive pumpkins here as well for people to look at. And lots of people just like collecting some of the small gourds and squash to decorate their home, but it's just sort of a wholesome family day out.
Altogether this year, the farm has produced around 200,000 squash, gourds and pumpkins, many of which are laid in the field behind me for people to put in their wheelbarrows, purchase and take home to decorate.
Coming and seeing all the pumpkins and all the bits that they put out, it's it's quite wicked. I'm going to purchase one for my little son, so we're just having a little look around, probably get one for the wife as well.
I was very excited to come here because I saw it on Facebook and I really wanted to see the pumpkins and all of that. I enjoyed taking my photos obviously because I was properly dressed up for it.
The event will be open every day from 9 AM to 9 PM, running all the way up to their final day on Halloween. Eleanor Dixon, Winchester News Online.
To most, leaving a shop without paying feels wrong, but in one bookstore in Winchester, it's being encouraged. Hagar Hagen investigates.
A completely free bookstore in the Brooks Shopping Centre has handed out thousands of books since they opened at the end of July. The bookstore relies on volunteers to keep the store running and on donations of second-hand books to fill the shelves.
Some of these books are more unusual ones that people just want to flick through at home, they might not spend quite a few quid on in a second-hand bookshop. They might be quite expensive. And a lot of people that come in go through many books in a few months. It's just a way of saving money and encouraging people to pass books on to other people as well.
While there were cuts in library services all over Hampshire last year, this store is somewhere new anyone can go to find a book.
The store is part of the Global Education Trust, a charity that works to make books available to everyone. And because many of the books at the store could have gone to landfill, customers can do something good for the planet and get a good book at the same time.
It is, as I say, such a great idea that it doesn't go wasted and people can come here and maybe not have access to books. Or maybe, you know, inconvenient for a library, they've got to bring them back, where this is, and pass them on to friends maybe.
The Global Education Trust also does projects in poorer countries to help schools there get the books and equipment they need. Access to books is important for literacy and education, but reading can also just be a nice way to relax. And it might be even nicer when the books are completely free. Hege Hagen, Winchester News Online.
Thanks, Hager. That's almost it from the news team, but before we pass over, Isabella Jagger is here to fill us in on recent news and events in and around Winchester.
Staff, residents and supporters of Winchester Church's night shelter gathered this weekend to mark World Homeless Day and the charity's new working name, the Winchester Beacon. Offering emergency accommodation to single homeless men and women in Hampshire, the name Night Shelter no longer accurately described the charity after it became a 24-hour service during the pandemic. Being open day and night when other services close their doors has given the residents more stability and privacy and the opportunity to access more of the charity's personalised support. Public transport company National Express is still unable to find a solution for a Winchester stop. This comes after the company announced last week that they would be stopping all travel to and from Winchester due to the King Alfred statue stop being now unsuitable for coaches. Both Winchester residents and local politicians have expressed their concern, with the nearest stop now currently at the University of Southampton. And a local charity has partnered with one of the world's leading video game companies to bring to life the historic city of Winchester. Creators of the global gaming series Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft has been working with Hampshire Cultural Trust on the development of a new educational experience. Winchester previously featured heavily in the world of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and the city will feature again in Discovery Tour Viking Age, which will be released later this week.
That's it from the news team. It's time to pass over to Harry Turberfield with the sport.
In the ice hockey this week, the Basingstoke Bison took on the Peterborough Phantoms at the Planet Ice Silverdome. After a poor start to the season, the Bison will be looking to get their skates on and put some points on the board. Kurt Hill was at this one.
As their NIHL National Division season kicked off, the Basingstoke Bison looked to get off to a winning start against Peterborough Phantoms, a team they recorded a 6-0 win against just a month ago. They also looked to bounce back after suffering recent defeats to the Wildcats and Bees in the Cup. And they did, with Adam Harding firing the Bison into an early lead. Further goals in the second period from Alex Sanford and captain Elliot Dewey soared Bison to a 3-0 lead, and they looked in complete control of the game. However, the Phantoms weren't about to down tools. They got stuck in and showed incredible determination, scoring 3 goals in the space of 5 minutes, equalising the game. 2 of the goals coming from controversial penalty decisions, and they came inches away from taking the lead, with Bison goalkeeper Alex Metton pulling off some last-ditch saves. The Bison got reorganised and didn't let this setback affect them going into the third and final period. Adam Harding struck 2 minutes in and put the Bison back in the lead with his second goal of the match. Following goals from Hallam Wilson and Philip Martinek restored Bison back into their 3-goal lead. This one they wouldn't let slip. Bison sealed the game in comedic fashion as Alex Roberts glazed their 7th goal into an empty net.
It'd be nice to finally get back to winning ways with some recent form.
Yeah, absolutely. I think last week was a bit of a wake-up call for a few of the boys, but we did well and we bounced back.
What was going on after the second period, after they had played back?
Well, guys just have to reset. Like we said, we've been together long enough and we're all adults, so we all know that we were the better team really. We gave them too many looks and we bounced back and obviously got it done in the third period.
How was the team performance?
Much better than last week's. They seemed to be able to stop their passing lanes and stop them shooting. Definitely the first period. Second period obviously was a bit squeaky bum time, but...
This is Kurt Hill from Winchester News Online.
Winchester University first team take on Bath Force this Wednesday. After a successful start to their league campaign, winning their first match against Southampton's Solent, Tyler Reynolds looked at the club's preparations for this season amid the chaos of the coronavirus pandemic.
Spirits were high in training on Monday, as the University of Winchester's first team came off the back of a 3-2 win against the Solent University's second team last Wednesday. Winchester have been placed in a tricky league this year, with the universities of Bath, Solent and Bournemouth all in their league this season.
I think the league's competitive. We're in the Division 3 of the Western League, but for a small uni I think we'll hold our own. We're looking to push on from the last couple of years. I think we've got a strong 15, 16 players in our squad, and I think we can do well. Looking to go top 3, that's what I'm looking for, and we've had a good start to the season, so I'm looking forward to pushing on for the rest of the season.
And with COVID taking away the football season for the first team last year, it's even more important for Winchester to establish themselves in their new league, and the hunger and determination of the squad this year is set to be a key factor in achieving that.
We got promoted the last full season that we had, so it's important that we want to show that we can make the step up properly. And no, it's exciting and we're confident, yeah.
With the year out, I think we've all come back. We've got that bit of passion back in. We've had a couple of years of sitting at home, and I just think, yeah, we're looking forward to getting back started. A few boys haven't played again in a while, so getting back to that match fitness, but definitely more determined than ever. And being captain this season, I think that's what I want to drive and finish my final year at uni on a good high.
Up next for the Winchester first team is the Bath fourth team here at home. Bath come looking to pick up their first points of the season after a 3-1 loss to the Bath third team last week. Wednesday's game is a great opportunity for Winchester to continue their perfect start to the season. Tyler Reynolds, Winchester News Online.
Hampshire's football teams features in numerous competitions over the weekend. Charlie Kitchenside has the roundup.
With some of the most exciting action coming from the FA Cup fourth round qualifying. Eastleigh were caught off guard as 7th tier Folkestone Invicta scored 3 goals in the first 18 minutes. However, a mini FA Cup giant killing was prevented as 3 Eastleigh second half goals, including a 95th minute equaliser from Christian Maghoma, took the game to a replay. That replay will take place tonight at 7:45. Havant and Waterlooville will also play a replay as they drew 2-2 at Torquay United. Aldershot Town, however, did make it through to the first round proper as they beat Bowers and Pitsea 2-1. In the Premier League, an Armando Broja goal was enough to seal Southampton's first win of the season as they beat Leeds 1-0. This takes them to 15th in the table. And finally, it was a bad weekend for Portsmouth fans as they lost 4-1 away to Rotherham in League One. Danny Cowley's side will look to improve in tonight's game against Ipswich.
That's all for the sport this week, but don't go anywhere because Poppy Monroe Scott has all of your entertainment news for this week.
I'm Poppy Monroe Scott here with your Ents news. This week we've got more music and TV news. It's a great week for Doctor Who fans. The trailer has just been released for the latest series of Doctor Who. Our reporters Matt Brooks and Taylor and Ben Morris will now take time to travel through it. This is much bigger than I thought.
It's happening again.
Who are you?
I'm the Doctor. This is Raz. This is Dan.
Why don't I know about this? And who else does?
Very odd.
Jodie Whittaker's final series as a titular Time Lord sees the return of some familiar foes from past eras, including the highly anticipated resurgence of the Sontarans, who are sporting a rather different look, paying homage to their original 70s appearance. Now, Ben, what did you think of the trailer?
It was alright, yeah, as you say, the Sontarans are back. What do you think of the new design though?
I mean, I think it's better than the last one. That was too blue for me.
No, I like the blue.
It
I like the
alright
blue.
for, I guess, the time, but back in the day they were black and silver, so I guess...
Yeah, but it needs to be modernised. I prefer that.
Yeah, but come on.
Nah. And then you've got the Weeping Angels. They're back. They haven't been in since 2010.
Yeah, 2010 Time of Angels. That was their last.
I feel like they've lost their scare factor though. They're not very scary anymore.
No, hopefully though, it's a different writer, so...
Yeah, but they were scary once, and that's it.
Well, you never know, they can always return to
Their
former
scary
glory.
nature. And then we've got Mandy McGill playing Yaz,
Yeah.
and then we got comedian John Bishop.
Yes.
How do you feel about like a comedian,
Well,
like a known celebrity in it?
I think it's different. They had obviously Catherine Tate before. She was
Yeah,
very
she
well
pulled it
known
off.
at the
That was
time,
good.
and she actually ended up being probably one of the best ones.
So yeah, and then we've got the fact that it's just one long story
Yeah,
rather
that's
than
different.
episodic.
Yeah.
That hasn't been done since like the 80s or something.
Yeah, so the whole series is just one continuous story.
Yeah, never done that not in New Who.
Yeah, no,
as
not since
people
it's come
say.
back. Which
Yeah. Well, that's all we've got. Time to dematerialise. Back to you, Poppy.
Now onto some live music, as the Railway Inn has been back in the spotlight, with one of the biggest acts in heavy metal making his return to Winchester. Tom Hooker reports.
Last Friday, metalheads were treated to a special performance as former Iron Maiden and Wolfsbane lead singer Blaze Bayley returned to the Railway Inn in Winchester. Inside, there was an air of rejuvenation and excitement, as both himself and support band Absolver were happy to be back on stage.
We've been to the Railway a few times before over the years. We like it there. It's a small, intimate performance, very close to the audience, and it's a great sound. And we always have a good time there. And this time was no different, really. It was probably a little bit more special because we haven't been to the Railway for quite some time, and of course we've not been playing that many live shows.
Blaze has been performing all over the UK, promoting his new album War Within Me, and was quick to engage with the audience and get them off their feet.
He is almost like the heavy metal Elvis. You know, he's got a unique thing, and I could see him completely transform a room from, you know, hundreds of people all stood there with their arms folded going, impress me. And then within 5-10 minutes, he's got everybody on the feet, clapping, screaming, cheering. And that's rare, man. Nowadays, you know, there's not many people that have that just natural flair and natural skill as a singer and a frontman.
The gig was just one of 3 shows happening every weekend at the venue, as it gets back to normality, with locals once again being able to enjoy live music to the fullest.
It was fair on me of how good it is to have people back in the venue, because you see the venue being empty for a year and a half, and or having to have people at seated shows where they can't get up and dance as well. It's the most tragic thing, and that's kind of what this venue's about. It's the community.
As Blaze continues onto the likes of London, Manchester and Glasgow on his tour, the Railway Inn and Winchester was the perfect place to get the wheels in motion. Tom Hooker, Winchester News Online.
Thanks, Poppy, and thank you to Harry for the sport. That's it for this week. From me and the rest of the news team, have a very good evening. Goodbye.